Welcome to Sip and Tell Coffee Tales. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Am I the only one that didn't know the dark history behind Brazil's coffee boom? Brazil, 19th century. A time when the world was changing rapidly and the promise of prosperity was in the air. The country was on the brink of transformation, driven by the relentless pursuit of wealth and progress. Deep within its heart, a treasure grows: coffee. This humble bean would become the lifeblood of the nation, transforming the landscape and the lives of those who cultivated it. Coffee was more than just a crop. It was a symbol of hope and ambition. Not just a drink, but an obsession. The allure of coffee captivated people from all walks of life, from the laborers who toiled in the fields to the elite who savored its rich flavor. It became an integral part of daily life, a ritual that brought comfort and connection. It fuels empires, ignites dreams, and corrupts souls. The coffee trade created vast fortunes and powerful dynasties, but it also bred greed and exploitation. The pursuit of profit often overshadowed the human cost, leading to a cycle of wealth and suffering. This is the story of the Brazilian coffee boom, a period of explosive growth and prosperity, when Brazil became the world's leading coffee producer. The boom brought unprecedented wealth to the nation, but it also exposed deep social and economic divides, a time of unimaginable wealth and unimaginable darkness. The glittering facade of success hid a darker reality where the pursuit of coffee riches led to widespread corruption and exploitation. The boom was a double-edged sword, bringing both opportunity and despair. The air hangs heavy, thick with the aroma of roasting beans. This intoxicating scent was a constant reminder of the nation's dependence on coffee, a symbol of both its prosperity and its struggles. The aroma was a bittersweet testament to the complex legacy of the coffee boom. But beneath this intoxicating scent lies a bitter truth: corruption, greed, exploitation. The human cost of the coffee boom was immense, with countless workers enduring harsh conditions and unfair treatment. The promise of prosperity came at a steep price, paid by those who had the least. This is the story of how a nation's golden opportunity became stained with the blood, sweat, and despair of its people. The Brazilian coffee boom is a tale of ambition and adversity, a reminder of the complex interplay between progress and exploitation. It is a story that continues to resonate, echoing through the generations as a cautionary tale of the costs of unchecked ambition. Brazil wasn't always synonymous with coffee. Once it was just another colony struggling under Portuguese rule. Then came the bean. From humble beginnings, coffee spread like wildfire. Vast plantations replaced rainforests. Wealth poured in, transforming Brazil into an economic powerhouse. The world craved coffee. Brazil provided. Ships laden with precious beans sailed across the Atlantic. Fortunes were made overnight. But behind the facade of prosperity, a sinister undercurrent was brewing. Power concentrated in the hands of a few. The coffee barons, ruthless businessmen, they ruled their plantations like feudal lords. Land was power, and they amassed it relentlessly. Forests were razed, indigenous people displaced, all in the name of more coffee, more wealth. These were men who understood the language of profit. They manipulated markets, bribed officials, and crushed competitors. Their word was law, their ambition limitless. But how far would they go to protect their empires? Corruption seeped into every corner of the coffee trade. From adulterated beans to rigged auctions, the schemes were as varied as they were audacious. Plantation owners underpaid their workers, many of whom were slaves trafficked from Africa. The ports bustled with shady deals, each transaction a testament to greed. Even the transportation wasn't spared. Ships were overloaded, safety compromised, all to maximize profits. The risks were high, but the rewards were higher. In the coffee boom, morality was a luxury few could afford. Section 5. The price of plenty. When coffee brews inequality. Brazil grew richer, but its people didn't. The wealth from coffee flowed upwards, lining the pockets of the elite. The vast majority remained trapped in poverty, condemned to a life of back-breaking labor on the plantations. The boom exacerbated existing social divides. Education, healthcare, infrastructure, all were neglected as resources were funneled into coffee production. The nation was hooked on a caffeine high, oblivious to the societal hangover that awaited. Section 6, whispers in the coffee houses, unmasking the deception. But whispers of discontent were brewing. In the bustling coffee houses of Rio de Janeiro, intellectuals and journalists began to question the true cost of the boom. They exposed the corruption, the exploitation, the human cost of Brazil's caffeinated success story. These brave individuals risked their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives to shine a light on the truth. Their words were a beacon of hope, a call to action against the injustices of the coffee empire. Section 7, justice served or not, the fall and rise of the mighty. Scandals erupted, investigations were launched. The coffee industry, once a symbol of prosperity and growth, found itself at the center of a storm. The media buzzed with reports, and the public watched with bated breath. Some of the most powerful figures in Brazil faced accusations of fraud, bribery, and even murder. These were not just any individuals, they were the titans of the coffee world, the ones who had shaped the industry for decades. The coffee empire, once seemingly invincible, began to crumble under the weight of its own corruption. The foundations of their vast enterprises shook, and the once loyal employees began to question their leaders. But justice is a fickle mistress. The courtrooms were filled with drama, and the public demanded accountability. Yet the outcomes were far from straightforward. While some faced consequences, many others escaped unscathed. The legal system, with all its complexities, often left loopholes that the wealthy could exploit. Their wealth bought them influence, their connections shielded them from true accountability. It was a game of power where the rules seemed to bend for those at the top. Was this the end of the coffee baron's reign, or merely a temporary setback? The future remained uncertain, and the public continued to watch, hoping for true justice to prevail. The story of the coffee barons was far from over, and only time would tell what lay ahead. Section 8. Beyond the cup, corruption's bitter aftertaste. The Brazilian coffee boom left an indelible mark on the nation. It fueled economic growth, transformed the landscape, and shaped social structures. But it also exposed the fragility of unchecked ambition and the corrosive nature of corruption. The boom's legacy is a complex brew of progress and exploitation, prosperity and injustice. It is a stark reminder that even the most enticing opportunities can come at a steep price. Section 9, echoes of the boom lessons from a caffeinated past. The story of the Brazilian coffee boom is not just a historical footnote. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked greed and the importance of ethical conduct, particularly in times of rapid economic growth. The lessons from this era resonate even today. From fair trade practices to sustainable agriculture, the coffee industry continues to grapple with the ethical dilemmas that plagued its past. Section 10. Brazil's bean legacy, from scandal to sustainability. Today, Brazil remains a coffee giant, but the industry has undergone significant changes. There is a growing movement towards sustainable and ethical practices, driven by both consumer demand and a desire to learn from the mistakes of the past. From small-scale farms to large corporations, there is a newfound awareness of the need for responsible coffee production. This shift represents a hopeful step towards a future where Brazil's coffee legacy is defined not by scandal but by sustainability. Section 11. Sip with caution, the never-ending story of coffee's temptations. Coffee, a drink that has woven itself into the fabric of our daily lives, has a history as rich and complex as its flavor. The next time you savor a cup of coffee, take a moment to appreciate the journey it has taken to reach your hands. Remember the story of the Brazilian coffee boom. This period marked a significant chapter in the global coffee trade, transforming Brazil into the world's largest coffee producer. It is a story of ambition, greed, and the enduring human capacity for both good and evil. The boom brought prosperity to many, but also led to exploitation and environmental degradation. It is a reminder that every sip we take is connected to a complex web of history, economics, and ethics. From the colonial plantations to the modern-day coffee shops, each cup tells a story. The allure of coffee is undeniable. Its rich aroma and invigorating taste have captivated people for centuries. But as we indulge in its rich aroma and invigorating taste, we must also consider the hands that have toiled to bring this beverage to our tables. Let us not forget the lessons of its past. The coffee trade has been a battleground for economic power and social justice. For the story of coffee, like the story of humanity itself, is a never-ending saga of temptation, consequence, and the ongoing quest for a better tomorrow. Each bean's journey from seed to cup is a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. As you sip your next cup, reflect on the global journey it has taken. From the farmers who cultivate the beans to the baristas who craft the perfect brew, every step is a part of this never-ending story. Let us honor their efforts and strive for a more equitable and sustainable coffee industry, ensuring that the temptations of coffee continue to be a source of joy for generations to come.